Alright, come join Kyle, John and David as they go through what's on the playlist, find out what's everyone's favourite at Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment. We have a few segments, to be honest, in and out points, no celebs and the gossip, back in time where we're talking about the big M's, coming attractions, what the cue, quick checks, who'll be laughing, you abundantly. Welcome to Dual Redundancy.
Yes, welcome to Dual Redundancy, the only podcast where you can hear all the latest in television, entertainment news, and summer box office predictions with too many hosts with exactly the same predictions. Hopefully not. I'm one of those hosts, David Allen, and another one is
John Berwick, and the third one is
Kyle Bridger. I would say that I am the Grogu to John's Mandalorian, and Dave, you're gonna be our minion.
I
let you off the hook.
I don't know what they do. Beep 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 boop boop. Okay, yeah. I'm not the monster. The minions are teaming up with the monsters this summer. Yeah, Mandalorian's teaming up with Grogu, and the devil is teaming up with Prada. So
I'm no way giving away any of my picks when I did that. All right, just putting that out there.
Or maybe it's reverse psychology, and those are his picks, John.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's all psychology.
Yeah. Well, that is the main part of today's episode. We have some quick checks at the end, because it has been a minute. We'll catch up on what we've been watching so far in 2026. But yeah, we are going to be talking about summer movies, the box office, preview the summer of what is to come. We have a very special music drop for this segment. Our first, even though it's our 9th annual draft. John, play it.
Heartbreak feels good in a place like this. Our heroes feel like the best part of us. And stories feel perfect and powerful. Because here, they are. AMC Theaters. Heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
Yes. Heartbreak will feel good when I kick your guys' butts again.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's what you could bring in on the first day back in a while? I thought we were friends.
Not anymore. Not when it comes to our box office draft, our 9th annual draft. To set things up for those who are new to this, each host gets to pick 3 movies that open wide between May 1st and the first day of fall, which is Tuesday, September 22nd. The domestic totals, that's key right there, domestic totals will be added up until that day. And then, after the draft, we'll share some of our honorable mentions for some films we are looking forward to this summer that may or may not be those big money blockbusters. All right, so last year, with the 3rd pick in the draft, I secured my 3rd win. Kyle, you also have 3 wins. John, you have 2. So this year could be interesting. John, you could tie it up again. Make our year 10 super important. Or Kyle, one of us, could get the win and really become the champ of this. So a lot riding on this one this year. And we have to come up with a draft order. We do a snake draft. So, it would be like 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. And what we've done in the previous, we use our trusted this is AI before AI, random.org. We get our snake draft from that. We put in the placement of our names from last year's rankings. So you put me at the top, John. That's, how it was. Kyle's 2. Unfortunately, John, I believe you were 3 last year. So put those 3 names in that order.
Hang on.
Yes.
Yeah. Before we talk about it, what do we think the importance of the ranking is
that's true.
Here?
I feel like we've shown that it kind of doesn't matter too much.
But I mean, with the films this year.
So, because like last year I was, 3rd pick. I was able to get the win. I think this year it's 1 and 2. I think for me, on my list, there are 2 like clear, like knockout heavyweight champs. So I'm hoping to get 1 or 2. 2 might be good because then I don't have to make the decision. I'm sure the other person's going to pick that one, but I think I want 2 this year. How are you thinking one way or the other?
Well, I personally think there is one major one and then some mixture of some too. So I was actually thinking you might be able to package a couple at 3 and 4,
Yeah.
possibly.
I think there's definitely tiers, and I will normally in years past, I don't know why, because we only choose 9 films. I will get like a list of like 11 or 12 films. This
Mhm.
year, I had just 9
Wow. Yeah.
that I think
Yeah.
can make money. So I don't, you know,
Hmm.
I think it's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, John, whenever you're ready, reveal it.
I'm gonna hit randomize. All right, John, Kyle, David.
Oh, come on. All right. Hey,
Listen, that's what it says.
I think that's what it was last year, right? Wasn't it? Was that order last
Uh,
year?
I think so.
All right. And we saw how it went. So
Yeah.
it could go any which way. All right. So, yeah. So just to set things up again, John gets the first pick, then Kyle, and then I'll get the turn. I'll get 3 and 4, and then we go back up. Kyle, John, John, Kyle, David. So I get the last pick. So don't like that, but we'll see. Stranger things have happened. John, start us off. Where are you going?
Uh, boy. See, now I'm in the weird position where I don't follow movies as closely. Like, I know most of the stuff coming out because I saw, but like, I don't remember. Did this one did this movie's previous iteration do well or not? Like,
It's tough.
and a lot of times I like movies that don't do well, so it's kind of tough. But
Just go with your heart. I remember you went with your heart on, was it Top Gun?
it's Top Gun, yeah,
Yeah, and you
yeah.
cleared it easy, like with just that one film. So
I think
I
I'm gonna
thought you were going to say
choose-
Warcraft, Dave.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was two. I thought I just rubbed
I
it
get
in
those years
further.
confused. You know, was it Top Gun or Warcraft that was the #1 film of the year? I can't remember.
I am gonna choose Toy Story.
Oh,
I feel like it's an established brand. I don't think it's gonna do as well as it did in the past, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one because there's like 3 that I'm like, this could do okay, but maybe it won't. Maybe it will. So I don't know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we'll
No,
see.
we'll see. I mean, yeah. So we'll go through it. You know, I got some stats here, of course, and you know, I'd say this is one that was definitely of my two because it's like I feel like you see it over and over. Families just rule the box office. Last year, Lilo and Stitch. Year before, Inside Out 2, which I think Kyle had. Those were the #1 movies.
Mhm.
And then it's like, sure, while the originals have been light for Pixar since COVID, I think Elio only made like 72 last summer. These legacy sequels, man, they kill. It's just like
Mhm.
Toy Story 3 made over 400 million. Toy Story 4 a little bit more than Toy Story 3 with 434 million. You know, Dory did well. Incredibles 2 made 600. Inside Out 2 made 650. So it's like, what's the ceiling on this? Like, I think you're
Mhm.
at least getting 400 at least. So,
That's the hope. Is
yeah.
it does well, not
When
spectacular, but well.
when
Yeah.
was the Toy Story 4? When did that come out?
Toy Story 4 came out in
Oh.
2019, so right
Okay.
before some
So it's
some
been a
changes.
little bit. It's
Mm.
been a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, like 2024 was Inside Out 2, and that did
Hmm.
very well. The last Toy Story IP though that came out was Lightyear,
Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
118 million. I mean,
We don't
that's a
talk
whole
about that.
different story. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we don't talk about Bruno and we don't talk about Lightyear. But I think I mean, yeah, this was one of my 2 picks, so I
Okay.
like it.
All right. Starting
Yeah.
off on a okay foot.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
Kyle,
Now I don't know if I'm in my head about this movie that I'm about to choose or if this is the one, because this would have been I think
go with your heart.
my
Unless
number
it's the
one.
one I wanted, then don't do that.
Just
So
roll a die.
I don't know. Personally, I think this is going to be maybe the film of the summer.
Okay.
I think, I mean, I know a lot of people are talking about it, but I don't know if I'm
Mhm.
inflating it more than it
Keep
is.
in mind.
But I am going with Odyssey.
Mm.
Wow. That's
Okay.
not what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was all right. I got a
I
lot to
think
say,
this could
but
be
it's your
huge.
pick. This is your pick. I'll let you talk, and then I'll say I got some relief right now.
Okay.
But
I
yeah, you
think
go
you're
ahead.
sitting good at 3 and 4, but I think this could be a
Yeah.
huge movie.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I mean, isn't it coming out in IMAX? Isn't it taking up all the IMAX stuff?
Yeah, at least those 2 weeks, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
So I think if this thing gets a huge opening weekend, I think it could have long-term legs
Yeah.
and maybe expand in some formats or something. But I don't know. Maybe I'm in my head. I just think maybe it's just too much in the film world, but like I know a ton of people are talking about this.
Yeah.
I was from the trailer, I was excited about it. I think it was cool. Um, I'm interested. I don't know if I'm alone in that. It's
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan. Am I kidding myself? I
No,
mean,
no.
like
Yeah.
his films are always
Well,
pretty
see, so
solid.
here's yes. Yes and no. So for me, my two were like well, I'll talk about mine when I get to my point, but like were like the money makers that may
Hmm.
like not be the ones I want to see. So I had this technically like right there 3 and 4. So like I was like, okay, well now I was looking forward to getting this one with the third pick because I figured, okay, you guys are gonna take my top two, and then I'll
Hmm.
get the turn, I'll get this one nice. But of the four, this is the one I want to see. Like this is
Yeah.
the one I want
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
Yeah.
at, and this is the one I'll spend my money on.
Mhm.
For me, it's like the question mark of it all because yes, I'm in those I'm in those streets too, Kyle. I'm hearing about it. I want to see it. A lot of popularity.
Hmm.
Obviously Oppenheimer, the last Nolan film, that was his best, 330 million. If we look before that, Dunkirk 189. So like obviously 330 is great. That was rated R. I'm not sure what this one's going to be. I'm
Hmm.
assuming maybe they'll try it for a PG-13, get more, eyes. I don't know. I mean, they did well with an R-rated biopic on Oppenheimer. So,
Yeah.
but
But that
I
was
think
also kind of helped by the marketing a little bit.
that's the thing. Whereas like Oppenheimer definitely helped by the Barbenheimer of it all as
Yeah.
well. Like that was a crazy weekend. I think it'll do well. I think it'll maybe I my only hesitation with it and the question mark I had with it is like, is this a mass audience film or am I in my echo chamber
Yeah.
of like the film bros? Like, is it like for this, is there a mass audience for like this historical movie?
I I,
But like,
I
I don't know. Like I mean, it's Nolan's lucky July weekend. As you said,
yeah.
he has the big screens.
Hmm.
Are people like, hey, I didn't read this in high school, like, but I'll watch this, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope so.
That's that's why my thinking is like if
Yeah.
this does have a big opening weekend, I think that's when you're gonna have people that maybe not
Yeah.
normally go see something like this will go see
It
say
needs
like,
to have
oh
those legs. The
yeah,
opening weekend will be the film bros. I guess
yeah,
I'm looping them in. I mean,
yeah,
men and women.
yeah,
But like it's like those extra weeks 2, 3, and 4.
yeah.
Like,
But I also think the Christopher Nolan of it all, I think he has a good reputation, one of the best
yeah,
filmmakers of our time. So if he's making like this huge epic movie, it's got to be something you see. I think when you hear Christopher Nolan, I think it's one of the few directors where you're
yeah,
like, I got to go to the theater to watch something,
yeah.
you know? So
No,
that's
definitely.
what I'm betting on. And did they not show a trailer of it at the Super Bowl? I know a lot of
I didn't watch
movies
Super
do
Bowl,
that,
so I
but
don't know.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah,
if you are aspiring to a massive opening,
yeah,
you would have a trailer during the Super
yeah.
Bowl.
No, definitely. This is going to be played with a lot of films. I think it might have been played with Avatar. The marketing will be there for this. I think they're going to put a lot of stuff behind this film. It's hard to compare it because again, it's Nolan, and this is
Hmm.
not the same thing. I kind of was looking at other research. I'm like, okay, you guys will probably roll your eyes at it, but like Gladiator 2, a big epic, Ridley Scott, big director, a sequel to a Best Picture winner
Hmm.
that made 172 million. But obviously the reviews were very more mixed on
Yeah.
that versus at least a lot of people are hoping. I mean, that's the other thing. Like the reviews got to be good
Yeah.
for those legs. If
Yeah.
the reviews aren't good, yeah, you get the opening weekend people, and then,
Mm.
but it's an amazing cast. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say, my film that I thought was my
Hmm.
two Toy Story, comes 2 weeks after the Odyssey.
Hmm. Yeah.
Also stars Tom Holland. I'm going with
Hmm.
Spider-Man.
Hmm. Yeah.
Spider-Man Brand New Day. So
so
yeah,
having chosen what I chose, I
yeah,
think 3 and 4 is a great spot to be in.
yeah. Well, that's why I was worried about where I was like, okay, you guys are gonna snag Toy Story and Spider-Man on me, and I'm like, okay, 3 and 4, like I have my, next pick. I'll talk about it in a second. And I'm like, oh, I'll grab Odyssey. Like that could
Hmm.
be a nice little question mark that could really pop.
Mm.
Like I'm like, oh, I could have something here, but I just thought like as I talked about it, you got the families
Hmm.
with Toy Story. This is also kind of a family aspect to
Hmm.
this, and it's gonna come out 2 weeks after Odyssey, and then it has the summer. There's nothing coming out in like August. I think is like worth it. Spoiler, I guess, for the rest of my draft. Um, sure, superheroes and Marvel have slightly been disappointing recently, but I think like Spider-Man really bucks that trend. If you
Hmm.
look at just the Tom Holland universe, 2017 Homecoming, 334 million. 2019 Far From Home, which was also a summer release, 391 million. No Way Home in 2021, it's not going to hit this number. I'm just going to say it, 814 million.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not going to get there, but like if Far From Home, which I thought was like an okay one of the franchise, made about 400 million, I think this one can also make 400 million.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I think Spider-Man is one of those entities that has
yeah,
kind of shielded itself from the Marvel fatigue
yeah,
of it all. Like, I
Hmm.
think still has a good reputation because I think the films have been decent. So I think this could do very, very well.
yeah. So those are my picks. Obviously there's a little bit of worry with like Spider-Man where it's like, yeah, at the end of the summer, people have already spent their money on Toy Story and Odyssey,
Mhm.
and it's like, are they gonna have enough money left over for
Yeah.
Spider-Man? But um, all right. So I get two picks here. So I get the
Mhm.
next pick. I get the turn. I
I
I
bet you
guess
I know what you're going
I
with.
guess I'm gonna go with this one. I think I went with this one in the past.
You
Um,
suiting up?
wait. Oh yeah, oh yes. Yeah. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't have another superhero movie. Yes, I'm gonna get my finest on, and I'm either going to be dressed as a minion or a monster because I'm picking minions and monsters. Um, yeah, I think it's gonna be under Toy Story's number, but the Minion franchise,
They
like
do well.
as an
Yep.
average, makes 350 million. So it's
Yep.
like if I can get 300, I will take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so has the July 4th holiday weekend. It is, 2 weeks after Toy Story and it's, soon after Moana, but I think like it's again July 4th holiday. You got July, these minions, I don't know what it is. It's kids like them and then strangely, you know, uh uh young adult men like them too. I don't know why, but I won't be there. But yeah, so I'm going with minions and monsters. Yeah, what do you guys think of this pick?
Yeah, it was up there for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to admit now that you've chosen your two, Dave. I was really hoping not to be second
Oh,
because
now we're in the middle of the draft, John.
no, I'm just hear me out. I was really hoping not to be second
Yeah.
because I thought if I was third, I
Mm.
could do this package because I was going to
Yeah.
do the same
Mm.
kind of package you were
Yeah.
thinking. And then ninth, I was like, oh, I'm going to get what I get. So
Yeah.
I don't have to choose
Yeah.
what's left. Now that I'm fifth, I have no idea what I want to pick.
Yeah. This is
And
where I think for me,
Draft's
like
over.
no, well, there's like tiers, and I've said I think there's one that's right on the edge, which I think is the one of the really big question marks, and then the rest are kind of like okay. I don't know if they're
Mm.
gonna
yeah.
be much bigger ones. So like I'm curious to see where you guys go, and if
Yeah.
there's one of the films I think could be, I don't know. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, no, I know.
But yeah.
I really don't know
Yeah.
what I want to go with.
All right.
Um,
Well, it's your pick. Here you go.
I know. So I think I have it between a huge franchise and a sequel.
Okay, I think
Yeah,
I'm
I know what you're
following
doing.
what you're putting down.
I think. I think that's fine. But I don't know how this one is going to do. Oh, I didn't want to be this pick. I
Oh
really didn't
boy.
want to. I
Can we play
think
the tape back? I don't remember, John, what he said in the beginning.
no, this was in my head. I
Yeah.
did say in the beginning I wanted a package picks.
Okay.
Um, shoot. I I don't I'm gonna go, I might surprise you. I'm gonna go with Devil Wears Prada 2.
Okay. See, that was one that I have like I was hoping I could get that as like my Barbie like
Yeah.
whatever pick number 7 as like could be good surprise. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I this is banking a lot. I mean, I know this is a well liked movie by a wide variety of people, but I just don't know how many people are going to be willing to go see it in the theaters, to pay that much to
Yeah.
go see it in the theaters. That is my biggest thing. Like, I like The Devil Wears Prada. I think it's a really fun,
Yeah.
rewatchable movie, but I don't think I would go see Devil Wears Prada 2 in the theaters,
Yeah.
even though I enjoyed the first one. But
I hear you.
I know, but it does have a loyal fan base,
Yep.
and it is fairly well liked by a lot of different people.
No, definitely. And I think it's a completely like different audience too than some of these other films that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And I think they want to watch a movie too. So it's like you have to give the audience, what they're clamoring for. This was like I have it a little bit lower down. I'm curious because I think like I bet you could have gotten this as well, no, I guess you wouldn't because you're in no, I guess you would right. What number am I? I don't even remember.
We are on five. This is
5.
pick
So
five.
I think you could have probably gotten this for pick 8. John, were you picking this, you think, of your two?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I was wondering, like, because now John is gonna have two picks, and I wonder if he's gonna
Hmm.
now snag,
Yeah,
something ahead of you. But anyways, like,
that's okay.
I think, yeah, like, this could be a good surprise. Like I said, the
Mhm.
Barbie pick. I think I could see easily like a $75 million opening. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah,
But the 20 years ago, the original made 124 million. That's unadjusted. Like,
yeah.
so it's only gonna be bigger than that, I think. And it is
I
this. Yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
thinking maybe 200.
That's exactly what I have. Like I have it as like I had it like as pick number like 7,
Hmm.
that like last round, and
Hmm.
I have it as 200, and it could go any which way because it's also like it's the start of the summer, which
Hmm.
can be good and bad. I mean, we in the last couple of years with like Thunderbolts and the Fall Guy, it hasn't really connected like
Hmm.
as it used to do. The one thing that was like making me like hesitant over the last like 2, 3 days is it will be week 2 of Michael, and despite terrible, terrible reviews, it's doing really well this weekend. So like I just like
Okay.
worry that, like because I think we had it something last year with like I picked like Thunderbolts and like people were still on the Sinners train. People were still
Yeah.
watching Sinners and
Yeah.
like, so it's like if Michael was eligible for this draft, I probably picked it. But like, but yeah,
Yeah,
so
well, I wasn't, Dave, you were on the right track with the strategy. I wasn't even thinking of what John might choose.
yeah.
That should have definitely factored into that. Oh
Well, now I'm
man.
really curious. I'm really curious where John is gonna go. John, you get 2 picks here. These are your last two
Yeah.
picks.
I I again, this is one of those
Hmm.
again, like Kyle says, the hardest thing
Hmm.
choosing and not being super informed on this. I don't think that this has as much power as it used to, but I'm hoping again it's another one of those like decent choices. I'm gonna choose the Mandalorian and
Okay.
Goguru and hope that I know that the Disney stuff's kind of been losing a little bit of steam, and it coming out on Disney Plus 2 weeks after launch really hurts it. But I don't know. I'm hoping. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that it does all right enough to keep me in the running.
Yeah. Yeah, this one
Yeah.
is tough. I had it just above Devil Wears Prada,
Hmm.
but not by much, and which is crazy because Devil Wears Prada, Star Wars, like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, like I think it's. I mean, so I'll give you the stats for the recent trilogy, 7, 8, 9. 936 million, 620 million, 515 million. So you saw a downward trend, but almost $1 billion domestic, man. That's crazy. Um, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near those, and not even Rogue One, which is 533. I think it's going to be closer to another Memorial Day Star Wars movie, which is Solo, which
Mm.
is still made 213 million, but
I'm gonna say 2.5, 3 is probably like
yeah,
just, again,
yeah,
decent, like just keeping me in the running.
yeah. I just worry if people are going to think that this is like, so what is this, like 2 episodes of the TV show? Like, do I have to have
Yeah.
seen the homework? Like, I
Yeah,
think, yeah,
yeah.
as you said, John,
Yeah.
MCU has had this issue of like Disney Plus to, theaters, and I don't know. Um,
But
but
the thing is it's still Star Wars.
yeah.
That's what was throwing me. I'm like, this is still Star
Yeah.
Wars.
And you got the
Yeah.
families with,
Yeah.
there's so many kids that are going to want to see Grogu,
Yep.
they're going to want to see the spectacle on screen. And, yeah, like
Hmm.
we'll have to see. Memorial Day weekend could be hit or miss. 2 years ago, Furiosa and Garfield, not so good. Last year,
Mm.
Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible, great. So like, is it every other year? I don't know, but we'll see. Um, I'm curious now, now that John has picked Mandalorian Grogu. Kyle, were you going to, you
Yeah.
know, was that going to be one of your
That
picks? I'm
was
wondering.
going to be my pick. That was what I was between because my whole thinking was it's still Star Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah. I honestly, with me thinking that The Devil Wears Prada is going to be around 200, that's what I
yeah,
think this is going to do. I
yeah.
mean, I don't think it's going to, I don't know if 300 is in the cards for this.
No, yeah, I don't think so either. And I'm just kind of like playing it out now, where it's
Yeah.
like the idea of like, oh,
Yeah.
it's the strategy of the order of picking in your opponents, what they're going to
Hmm.
pick in the order that they are. All right, so we all have one pick left, and I think before we do, if we can, I would love to just do a recap of where we all stand with what we have, just to kind of reset the board here. So John had the first pick. He went with Toy Story 5, and he just picked The Mandalorian and Grogu. Kyle had pick number 2, went with The Odyssey, and then went with The Devil Wears Prada 2. And then I had the third pick. I went Spider-Man Brand New Day, and then Minions and Monsters. All right, so here we go,
Well,
John. Oh,
before we go,
yeah.
John picks his next pick. No, I don't think anybody's won without an animated movie, so I'm already screwed.
I
I
mean,
think that's really what it comes
is
down.
there still another animated movie?
Yeah. It's
There's a
not.
couple. I don't think they're worthy to pick.
Okay, all right, relax.
I got some honorable like bombs I'm gonna like run through at the end because I think there are
Mhm.
some real stinkers coming
Yeah.
out this summer. But all right, John, where are you going for your last pick?
Oh, as much as the last pick was hard, this is even harder.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, we're talking about like animated movies and kid stuff. I already have two like kiddish kind of things, like uh, I don't know. I'm gonna choose one and immediately regret it.
I
But
always love your last picks. You always have some fun ones.
usually I choose one that I want to see. I'm just
Yeah.
like, all right, whatever. Let me choose.
I think it
This
was like
time I'm-
Naked Gun last year. Like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a fun movie. Yeah.
It was. I'm not choosing one I intend to see this year.
Okay.
I'm gonna choose Moana. My hope is that again, like EDM mentioned in chat, that maybe it'll pull Lilo and Stitch and do pretty well.
Mm.
And it's another kids one, and the kids have adults seem to shell out. Like I don't know. It's a tough choice for me, but I'm looking at the list and like I don't know half the other stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's some in there that I can see that I would think are gonna do like they're gonna fall flat in their face, which I know we're gonna discuss. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I want you to be honest, John. Before EDM in the chat said this, was this going to be your pick, or did they kind of nudge you?
This was next on my list. Yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
have
Just
them in
checking.
order. I did skip one earlier that I was gonna pick, and
Yeah.
I decided not to. But yeah, it was next on my list.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I have some thoughts on this pick, Kyle. What do you think about it, though?
When I saw the question in the chat, I was like, I don't see it. I think from the trailer, I was not enticed to see this.
Hmm.
And it just feels like Disney is just doing the overkill, just trying to
Mm.
recycle the IP. Um, and even like going back to even like the Lion King one, it's like, why are we doing a live action of a
Mm.
animated? It just
2026.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But um, I mean, I'm not wishing unwell on this. I just don't know. I
Yeah.
don't see it
I
as
agree
a
with
big thing.
all your points, especially like the trailer. I think it looks terrible. With that being said, I could just hear all those kids begging their parents to see it because they love
Yeah,
Moana. Like,
Mm.
yeah.
I think I have it as a really big question mark. I was probably going to go with this if it got to me, just because it's like,
Hmm.
are people over these? Is it too soon? I mean, it was just 10 years ago since this animated version came out, just 2 years after Moana 2. But those films made 250 million and 460 million. So like they're on the upswing. And last summer we saw with Lilo that made 400 million. How to Train Your Dragon made 260 million. It's like they can connect. Like this could still make like at least 200 million. That's where I'm thinking to like mid to 200s. Like, um, it could be Lion King 543 or it could be Snow White 87.
Yeah.
So you got it. That's the range, and that's what sometimes like is like scary with a pick like this, where it's like you're putting your chips on that roulette wheel. It's like you
Yeah.
could be in for a huge payday,
Well, there's certain
or
ones I could have picked that I knew would do bad. So.
yeah, yeah. I will say, John. So like I'll run through my list so far because like
Mhm,
this is where we're at.
mhm.
My numbers, and these are just like rough numbers of like placement. I had Toy Story, Spider-Man, Minions, Odyssey, Moana, giant question mark, Mandalorian and Grogu, Devil Wears Prada.
Interesting.
So those are my seven. Those are seven films that have been picked. There's two more films, and might get saddled with one of them. So Kyle,
I was
what are you
just
saddling me with?
yeah, so I was just I might surprise you with a pick
Okay.
here. Um, but I was just doing some last minute research and you know what? I'm just gonna this might be a surprising pick, but I'm gonna do it
Oh
anyways.
boy.
I'm gonna bet on an original idea to do well again at the box office. Uh, and this director isn't I don't think is like has the cachet that he once did, but I'm hoping to bring some back, and we're gonna go with Disclosure Day
All
because
right.
I think people are really interested in you know the extraterrestrial at the moment.
Mhm.
You know, it's kind of been floating around in the ethers of the
Mhm.
web. Um,
Yeah.
um, but I think it could be good. I think it's interesting. The idea of it is interesting. The trailer looked interesting. So I'm this is gonna be my pick.
Mm.
I'm just kind of betting on the original idea
Yeah.
again
Mm.
I love
because
you believe in theaters, you believe in storytelling. I love it, Kyle. If I had to choose three movies I would want to see this summer, I'd be picking your team.
Mm.
You
yeah,
have
I
my
know.
three that I like
Yep.
literally those are the ones I want to watch. Unfortunately, I had this like right under what I'm gonna pick next
Yep. I think I know
because
what you're
of
gonna
the
pick.
original IP thing. I want original films to do well. And
Hmm.
yeah, 1 through 8 on my list are all sequels and IP. Just because, like, unfortunately, like that is what connects at the box office in the
Yeah.
summer. It's so sad, but like, um,
I'm
I'm
believing, Dave. I'm
yes, you gotta
believing.
believe. But I did have some data here just to kind of run through. It's hard because with an original film, you can't really compare it to other films in the franchise, like because there isn't any.
Yeah.
But Spielberg's last 10 years, his last decade in film, was the BFG, 55 million. The
Uh,
Post, 81. Ready Player One, 137. That was the high point. West Side Story, 38, and then Fableman, 17. So I mean, you got a lot of Oscar type films in there.
yeah.
The closest comparison I thought of was Nope, Jordan Peele's kind of
Hmm.
UFO type movie that made 123. So I think we can at least, I'm hoping that this film can at least cross that 100 million barrier, maybe get to 150. That would be
I'm
like
hoping for 150.
that'd be amazing. I do worry about like the spot, but like all of June is like this. Like I looked this up, or it's like you have like Masters of the Universe scary movie one weekend, and then it's Toy Story, Supergirls, Minions, Moana, Odyssey, boom, 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 and like this
Hmm.
is like sandwiched in between all that, and it's just I
Yeah.
worry with it being like an original film, it might get kind of lost in the
Yeah.
sauce.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I said I was going to surprise you with a pick,
yeah,
and I think I
that's how you got
achieved
to
that.
play. At a certain point, you have
Yeah.
to. When you're in this position, you have to throw in a curveball. Like I
Hmm.
think I did like with Twisters one year, and that was a nice little surprise, and obviously
Yeah.
Barbie. But all right, so that means my number eight, I guess, is still on the board. I think could be very close to Disclosure Day. I don't think it's going to hit 200, but it's what we have left. It's not going to play like, I don't know, it's Big Brother, Big Cousin last summer. I don't know what it is. Supergirl. I don't know how
Yeah.
Supergirl is related to
Interesting.
Superman, but
So this was the other one
yeah,
I was contemplating.
yeah. I
But mm,
I don't think that anyone really is like clamoring for this. Maybe it
yeah.
just hasn't started yet, but like I said, I could only find 9 films, so we chose 9, and
Yeah.
I have picked number 9, so I have to go with what's left here. Um, but yeah,
I I also I think I saw the trailer. I don't know where I saw the trailer, and the trailer didn't blow me away
yeah,
either.
yeah,
So I was like, "Ugh," but it
yeah,
is
yeah,
DC, so maybe.
maybe, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's not gonna play like Superman, which was pretty good last summer. Had
Mm,
like made about 350 million, but they probably spent that and more on the marketing of it, so like they
hmm
probably won't do that this time around. I think it'll be closer to like last year's other kind of like B team, no offense, movie of like Thunderbolts. Like that made
hmm
190. So it's like
Yeah.
again, if we can get to 150, 190, it's like I'll take it for the ninth pick. But yeah, just a bad date again. Like this opens the same weekend as a different film in Jackass, but sandwiched in between Toy Story and Minions. Like that's not good. Like it's in between like, I feel like this could get like a lot of younger people, into the theater, and I don't know if people are going to care. So,
Nice.
yeah. Uh, okay. I mean, EDM's going. So, I got, I don't know, $7, or depending on your. Maybe $20, but yeah. All right. So let's review the teams, and then we'll talk about some bombs and then some honorable mentions here. So, let's start off at the top here, John. John had the first pick. He went with Toy Story 5, The Mandalorian and Grogu, and Moana. You're very Disney, John.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now that I see it, I'm a little
He's
concerned about
buying
that, but
stock. He's
yeah.
buying stock.
He's going to be the next
a
CEO.
little concerned about that. I didn't put those numbers together in my head before I chose that, but
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Disney has the marketing budget and like the synergy with all their
mm.
channels. They'll spend their money on this. Um, all right, and then pick number two with Kyle. He went with Odyssey, The Devil Wears Prada 2, Disclosure Day.
I'm really contemplating that last pick, but I didn't. There wasn't really much to go with down
I
at
think
the end here.
you're going with vibes, man. I think that's
Yeah,
the
I
you're.
really do think the Odyssey is
I
going to
think
be
it,
great. So
yeah.
I whatever. I'll go see my slate and
I mean, you could have
if
a Best Picture winner in your slate. I will not. Um, Then again, let's start the campaign for Supergirl. At number three, I had Spider-Man Brand New Day, Minions and Monsters, and Supergirl. All right, so those are the teams. I got some other thoughts on any other films. Other films that you guys think are just gonna bomb, like
uh
just are
Oh,
not gonna do well.
um
Animal Farm.
Yeah, yeah. Can we talk
oh
about that?
God.
Who is that for? It looks
I
god
Yeah.
awful.
don't
It's not
know.
faithful to the book at all. So you're not getting the book
No.
people.
Yeah.
Like
Very
this
odd.
is, and I think it's directed by Andy Serkis. Like, what
Yep.
are you
Yeah.
doing, dude?
I saw
I don't
somebody
know.
make a
No.
joke saying they were happy they kept in all of Orson Welles' fart jokes that he wrote in.
Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, cool, dude.
yeah, yeah. I think the bomb of the summer is going to be Masters of Universe.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Hmm.
don't know, like it. this just looks so formulaic. It doesn't look
Yeah.
good. Like it's just like, and it's based on IP that I feel like nobody cares about.
Yeah.
So like, okay,
It's an odd choice. Yeah. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. And then there's, I mean, I pulled up data for other films, just to kind of run through other films that are coming out this summer, which I don't think are gonna do that well, just based on prior ones in the franchise. But Mortal Kombat 2.
Hmm.
Scary Movie. There's a new one here.
Didn't
Like
the first Mortal Kombat came out during the HBO
I
Max
think it came, yeah, so it came out in 2021 and it
in
made
the
42 million. But
oh
again, it was
okay.
that day and date thing. So like,
Mm,
um,
That and haven't they delayed this like twice already?
I think so.
mm,
It's like, oh
yeah.
man, you're asking for bad
Yeah.
news. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So and there's Jackass 5, Super Troopers 3, a lot of just
Yeah.
okay, like they'll make, 30, 40 million, but like they're not
Mm,
like there really is, I feel like a top nine, and like that's it.
yeah.
Um One that I'm kind of interested in seeing that could make some money is the Coyote versus Acme. Just the like live action hybrid, Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
that was the
Like
one I skipped when I was
yeah,
doing my thing. I was like,
yeah,
I don't know if we're ready for that kind of
yeah, yeah.
thing. Like,
I don't I think your picks are better, John, because
I
like
think so too.
looking at other Looney Tunes hybrid movies, and these date back, but these are the
Hmm.
highest they have. Is the original Space Jam 90 million and Space
Ooh,
Jam 2 70 million. So they can't even crack 100. So like
Mm,
this has been weirdly
that's rough.
delayed as well,
mm.
but yeah, any other film? I mean, is there anything you guys are looking forward to this summer other than, the films we've talked about so far? Anything that sounds interesting?
Um, I mean, I chose the ones that I
Yeah,
wanted to
you're
see
seeing the ones
almost.
that you're seeing.
Yeah. I
Well, I
mean,
got. Oh, go
I
ahead.
think I'm gonna see Kyle's list and then maybe Jackass just to see it. Like that might be it.
I think you're because I won last year. You guys are all required to see my three, I believe, this year.
I
Like you
mean, it
Yeah,
have
works
to.
that
no.
way.
Yeah.
I think that works that way. No, I'll share some
I'd
ones that
rather
like
make a donation to AMC than
yeah. Um, I'll share there's two or three films that just sound interesting, that are not going to make any money, but I'll check them out. Um, so there's one called Backrooms. It's based on like the viral
Yeah.
found footage
Hmm.
YouTube series. It's like a horror film that where the protagonist is trapped in like a surreal endless labyrinth of yellow walled hallways. Just seems very creepy and unique.
Hmm.
There's a picture here for the Dink, which is a washed-up tennis pro, played by Jake Johnson here, is forced to save his father's struggling club by breaking his solemn vow and playing pickleball. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, am I going to go to
Hmm.
theaters for this? No, but is this going to be probably a fun streaming movie that's going to have Jake Johnson, Ben Stiller, like Mary
Hmm.
Steenburgen? It's like, yeah, this might be fun.
Hmm.
Um, the other one I have listed is I Love Boosters, which is really because of the creative team involved.
Yeah. Hmm.
Specifically, it's directed by Boots Riley, who did Sorry to Bother You. This is his follow-up,
Hmm.
and it's a satire centering around a trio of shoplifters who uses high-tech gadgets to take down a predatory fashion mogul. Kiki Palmer, Demi Moore, Lakeith Stanfield. Just seems like a fun time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds like one I want to watch for sure.
All right. So that's it for our picks, but wait a minute. Who's that? Whose music is that I'm hearing? Who's coming in from the side? That's Gemini. Gemini gets to choose
Oh
from
God.
everything across the board here. They get, whatever film they want this summer. And last year, it actually did beat all three of us. So I was actually thinking this year though, like I was like initially I was like, maybe they should draft with us. Like they should get like whatever pick number
Oh
three.
No, my
And
boy.
then like
God.
but I'm like, honestly, like I shot it down once I could only find nine viable picks. Like if I could have found like 11 picks, I would have been all right. Yes, we have like it has to compete with us instead
Mm,
of like as its own thing because like that's not really fair. But maybe next year. Anyways, Gemini gets to pick three films just like us, but they get the whole slate. Let's see what Gemini picked for their three films.
oh
Oh,
boy.
okay.
Okay.
All right. So John, they same first pick with Toy Story
Yep.
5. Okay. Pick number two. Oh, my
Oh
my
wow.
last pick of
Wow.
Supergirl. And what's
Okay.
number three? Minions and Monsters.
Okay.
So two films of
Wow,
mine,
two of
one of from John.
yours.
I think that was what it was last year. I think I can look it up on
Yeah,
Instagram.
I think it was like two of mine, wasn't it? And then one
Something
of
like that. Yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
else. I think it
yeah,
was.
I'll have to see because I believe it had definitely had Lilo and Stitch, so which like helped me because I feel like I was getting a little poo-pooed by you guys last year when I picked that, and I was like, well, if Gemini thinks so, then I think so. Let's see. So yeah,
Gemini, Claude, Chat GPT.
picked two of yours, Kyle.
Yeah.
Superman, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, and then picked one of mine, Lilo and Stitch. So
Mm.
Gemini did win last year, so we'll see. We'll see. But all right, those are the picks for this summer's box office draft. Yeah, EDM, you guys should do a us versus Gemini, Claude, and ChatGPT. Okay. We don't have like 30 films to choose from here, man. There's only so many. Um, but all right. All right. So before we go, because it has been a bit, our first show of 2026, surprisingly, we've been watching a ton of stuff. So we're gonna do a couple rounds of quick checks.
Uh,
All right, and I'm gonna
Awesome.
start off with an apt title for what's gonna happen to you guys this summer. Something very bad is going to happen. That
Mm.
was the show I watched on Netflix. It's about a couple. They're getting married in a week, and they arrive at the soon-to-be husband's family home for the wedding, and they have to deal with the family drama, impending death, a possible bad force on the loose, and a generational curse affecting the family. I went in really knowing nothing about this, but just hearing some kind of, kind of good things about it. I'm like, okay, let me check this out. Um, I will say it's almost like a different show for like the first two, three episodes, and then it shifts into like a different show,
Mm.
if that makes sense. Like it has like a very specific vibe and energy in the first like two, three episodes. And then when it's like, well, crap, this is a mini series. We gotta, tell like what's the story here? What's the driving force? What's the plot? Then it kind of becomes a different thing. I think I like the beginnings part more, but like you couldn't sustain that for I feel like the full show.
Mm.
Um, and it has, very specific mood that it's created, very mood lighting. It's very reminiscent. It's not done by the same group, but it's reminded me a lot of like The Haunting of Hill House, the Mike
Mm.
Flanagan stuff that he would do on Netflix. I think some of the acting is really great. The lead actress, was really good in this. But then there's some that I felt like was way over the top. There's like a sister-in-law character that just like seemed like a cartoon. So, it's hit or miss. It's I wouldn't say it's perfect, but if you're looking for something that's, a little creepy, something like okay, and it's a mini series, it's a beginning, middle, end. This is something to check out on Netflix.
I think the main actor in that was in The White Lotus,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he plays the soon-to-be husband. He's
Yeah, and
in
he
the Italy season.
yeah, I had
mm.
to look this up because I was like, wait, I thought he was like a kid because I remember he played the son in White Lotus and he
Yeah,
was
Michael Imperioli, yeah.
yeah, a bit younger. And I looked at his age, he's like 36 years
Yo,
old. I was
yeah.
like, "Oh my God, that's insane."
Yeah, the
That was just a
other
few years ago.
actor I recognize from this is I think it's Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. He plays the guy's dad.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah. Um Yeah, so it's interesting. EDM is in the chat already knowing what our next quick check is going to be because it is asking a question about it. John, what do you have?
I have The Pit. So after season one, you guys had come on the show and were talking about how good it was and how I should see it. And so I sat down and watched season one. At that point, it was all out. I was able to binge it, and I really enjoyed season one. But this is season two. So we're talking about season two. This one differed for me than season one because I watched this week to week instead.
Mhm.
And I have to say, I think I enjoyed the binge much more
Mhm.
than the week to week. I mean, I always wanted to see more, but not having that time in between made the payoff nice. Whereas having to wait a week and then like, my Thursday was kind of busy. I got to wait till Friday or Saturday, and like, I didn't enjoy it as much as season one. Um, I don't think that's quite because of like the writing of the story or what they focused on, even though it did have a little bit of a shift away from Robbie and more towards everyone, it felt like to me is a little bit more encompassing. I think it was just the meta ingestion and how I was able to watch it. But otherwise, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it still. It was another good season. I will say that I don't like the ending. We didn't really have a concrete ending as to anything. Like, do you guys watch it or no?
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
caught
I'm
up.
gonna spoil a little bit.
Yeah,
He didn't
spoilers
even
here.
he didn't even leave at the end of the day. Like it feels like it's missing an episode or two. Like like I don't know. Obviously, he's dealing with some thought problems and whether he wants to come back or even exist anymore and all that and it's all heavy stuff. But like
Yeah.
we left off with like 3 different cliffhangers, whereas I feel like the first season ended with like a clean break almost. You know what I mean? And so that
Yeah.
was a little disappointing to see. You guys have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you in that. I feel like it needed like a little bit more because maybe I was just faked out and like it's this not this type of show, but I feel like they were setting some things up that never
Mhm.
paid off. Like even just the
Yeah.
idea, like I thought he was gonna leave at like whatever, like say 7 o'clock or whatever. They kept talking about his motorcycle, not wearing a helmet, all that stuff. He was going to go on the road. He's going to get in an accident, and then he would be like the last patient, like
Mm-hmm.
in the last hour or
Sure.
two of this season or something. Like for the season to start with him coming on the motorcycle throughout Pittsburgh, I like okay, we're setting that
Yeah.
up. Or like they set it up a thing with like a missing badge and like Santos having a history of cutting herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, maybe they're just planting these seeds for seasons 3, 4, 5. Like I don't know, but like I think that was the issue for me, as you said, John, where it's like it almost works better on a binge because waiting a week to week to get like a 5 minute snippet of each case is like a hard way. I feel like to watch when,
Yeah.
especially some stories, like no offense, but like the woman who was like dying throughout the season, it was just like it felt like the
Mhm.
same update every like for
Yep.
3 episodes straight. It's like all right, like
She's not doing well.
yeah.
All right, cool. Like,
And like we saw it coming, like at whatever at 11 a.m. So it's like at like 3 o'clock when the story finishes, it's like, all right, we were at 11 a.m. 4 weeks ago. We were,
Yeah.
and so that's where I had some like issues. I think there was some characters got great stuff, I mean, I think Langdon had a good season with like his
Mhm.
return from, with sobriety, but like I think the cast when it expands too much, there isn't enough for everybody. Dude, I felt like Dr. King got like nothing. She had like
Yep.
0 cases
Yeah.
of actual
Yep.
medical work.
That
She,
was the worst storyline
yeah.
this
Mm.
season.
And I think it's like, first of all, she's doing a deposition on a holiday. I don't know if that makes sense, but like
Yeah,
that to
no.
be her story, and then like the drama with her sister, which I felt was repeated a bunch, like
Mm-hmm.
for 4 episodes in a row. I was like, wait, you're having sex? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we learned that at 2 p.m. Like,
Yeah. I'm an
it's 6
adult.
o'clock now. Like, but I think that's the thing. Like, Santos just complaining about charting over and over, and I get it. It's
Yeah.
all in one day, and it's not gonna like you're not gonna have like all this change and growth in over just an hour or two. But it's
I
just,
mean,
yeah,
you go to even the character of Al Hashimi is like a
yeah,
lot of times she's just like repeating directions from the hospital, and it wasn't till the end of the season where we really get into the nitty gritty of what's going on with her, and it
Yeah.
still feels not resolved. But
yeah.
I don't want to make it sound like I don't
Yeah, I don't
like
want to sound like I don't
I
like it.
want to
It's
tune into
great.
this show
Yeah, I love tuning
weekly.
in. Yeah,
It's crazy what they can do. It's crazy how many people they hire and have working on the show. I think there was no way that you could compete with the first season
Mm.
because they were ratcheting everything up to like 100 and whatever is all
yeah,
crazy. It was craziness the entire time, and it's just like impossible to do that season on season. So I like the fact that they focused a little bit more on some of the relationships, but you're right, some of the storylines went on too long. Some of them didn't get resolved, and I mean, in some cases, you could say that's really what it's like for the Doctor. They don't get
yeah,
updates on this. Like we didn't, we had like a few episodes of this woman with the the kid that had heat exhaustion or,
Yeah.
or whatever, and we have no idea what was happening, and we had like 2 or 3 episodes where they were wondering,
Yeah.
is this a negligent mother? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And then we don't even know what happened with the father or whatever. You know, it's a very odd thing. So, um, I still think it's appointment viewing. I think
Yeah.
it's still really well done. I think there's no way anything happens to Noah Wiley because he
Yeah.
is the show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally the face of the show, like
Yeah,
at
I
this
know.
poster. Like,
And uh there were some weird things along the way for some of the characters, and even like, Dr. Mohan, she's not on the show next year. And some of the discourse around this show is very odd
yeah.
and weird. It's like people like attaching to them like they're real people, like talking about Santos and Langdon. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like,
Yeah.
they're characters in a show. All of these people have flaws in some way,
Yeah.
and the stress of the job is exacerbating those flaws in
Mm-hmm.
certain situations. They cannot be infallible all the time. I
Yeah.
don't know what we're talking about here.
Yeah. And I think that's like part of like some of the issues like with the show where it's like, okay, we just feel like we got somewhere with some of these characters. And because it's like the pro
Mm,
and con of the show is like, oh, it's so cool that it's like one shift, like real
Yeah.
time, all that stuff. But it's like, okay, what are we gonna jump to? 3, 4, 6 months from now, and it's like, are all of our characters going to be back? Oh, new people are going to be in because that's just the nature of it. So it's like it's
Yeah.
hard to, like connect so much again because it's set at the hospital. It stays at the hospital. So for like there's like a scene where at one point like Santos is talking with a fellow doctor, and it's pretty much saying like, I'm not going to be like your F buddy, like I'm going to be more than that or whatever it was. And it's just like, oh wait, these two are together, like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
mm.
know that. But it's just like, well, it was just spouted out because just like that's the how the show works. But yeah, EDM in the chat. Is the Pit going to default and sweep the Emmys? Is Noah Wiley the new Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad, lead actor lock year after year? I mean, possibly. Like,
See it.
I can't think of what it's, this year, like what is coming for the crown for in the drama series thing. I don't know. I think the
What
industry's into this show. Like, you know,
what I think is what helps it is that this can be a year after
yep,
year after year show, hiring tons of people in the industry, and it is really really well received at the moment.
yeah,
Um, so whereas you have a show like even Severance, people really like it, but if it's coming out every
every like three
three
years
or
or
four
something.
years,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
doesn't.
like it and I'll complain about this on our podcast, but like with like Pluribus, it's just like the idea that like that's not a type of show that it can every 3 or 4 years, like I can get
Yeah.
another 10 episodes and then like that's it.
Or
Mm,
Severance. Same
It's
thing.
like you got to keep this thing moving because
mm.
like if you want to build any sort of audience and following, you got to keep like you can't be like, okay, I'm gonna give you a piece of cake now, and then in like 4 years I'll give you a piece of cake. It's like I don't even know if I'll like cake in 4 years. It's like
Yeah.
I might be moving on to something else, and I just don't like I'm like looking at some of the other things like I'm like a gold derby of like what they're thinking like could be nominees like Paradise. It's like I guess
Mm,
like I don't know, Euphoria, get out of here. I mean it'll be
no.
nominated but like it's not gonna win.
Yeah.
Like Stranger Things, I don't even like
Mm,
it's like a weird drama race. But
yeah. I guess
um
my final thought is
yeah,
this Thursday I logged into HBO looking for the next episode. It wasn't there. I
yeah.
genuinely thought
Didn't
that we
know it was the
weren't done with the
finale.
season yet.
That's funny.
I had like no indication that was the finale to me, except for
Mm.
like the ending was kind of slower, which but like
Mm,
I genuinely thought we had more episodes to go. So,
mm.
oh
Well,
well.
not till next year. At least it's pretty consistent with
Hmm.
every year. And I wonder, are we gonna get like a spin-off, or maybe the season will start with the night shift? Like I could see like the Pit night shift being
Hmm. Sure.
a spin-off or something like that. The set's already there. You got
Mm.
half the cast already. Like,
And a lot of people really like the
yeah.
characters in the night
Yeah.
crew.
All right. So John just did a season 2. Kyle, I think you also have a season 2.
Yep.
Yeah, want to talk about it?
So yeah, we'll talk about Beef. Um, I didn't know what we were doing first, so I got it up. I got it up
Yeah.
now. Okay. So basically, I've only seen 2 episodes of Beef. I can't run through the entire season, you crazy maniacs, but here's a little snippet of what's happening. So Oscar Isaac's character, he manages like this exclusive club, a country club, and his wife kind of works with him. They seem to be having trouble in their marriage. The two people that you see on your screen there, they also work at the country club. They go to return a lost wallet and catch Oscar Isaac and his wife having a argument, and they film it, and then this it transpires where they're trying to kind of work their way to manipulate the situation for their benefit, because what I think this show is going to touch on for the rest of the season is like relationship, definitely beefs in terms of relationships. So couples, what a
Mm.
beef looks like between in a marriage, what or a relationship in general, how when two couples are in some kind of beef, how the marriage, sticks together, how those relationships interact with each other, work relationships and beef surrounding that. And then what I think is going to be the overarching theme is this class inequality, um, that even somebody who's working, like Oscar Isaac's character, works at the country club, and he has access to all these people, but he's really suffering himself financially. So I think class inequality is going to be a big thing this season. I don't love it as much as the first season. The first season I binged right through. I loved
Yeah.
it. But I think that this does have some good themes that I'm willing to stick around, and some of the characters are very, very interesting. So
Yeah.
I'm down with it.
You know what?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, John.
Oh, I completely gonna derail it a little bit, but this whole time I was like, why would they name it the same as that other show, Beef? And I didn't put it in my head that it's the second season of the same
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
I was
It's
like,
like
what?
one
Why?
where they
It
changed
just
all the
came out.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it just came out. Why are they doing it? You can't. Okay, that makes so much more sense to me. Okay, sorry, David. Go ahead.
No, that's funny. It's just, yeah,
Beef reheated.
Yeah.
yeah. I remember I for some reason I couldn't get into season one, even though like loving the cast and hearing such good things about it. And like with like season two rolling around, obviously with the new cast, I'm like, oh, do I give this one a shot? Like, it's starting fresh and stuff. But yeah, like, again, another good cast. It's just I I honestly think I have a hard time sometimes with these Netflix shows where if you put them all in at once and it's just like, how am I gonna keep up? Like, I watch one of these and you guys are gonna like spoil me because you finished 8 episodes by 8 a.m. And it's just like, oh, but that's my
Going
own
back,
problem.
But going back to that,
Yeah.
when we were talking about the pit, what I did
Yeah.
like was that, like, that people could talk about it week to week. So I
Yeah.
do, I do like that
I
aspect of
love
it.
the week to week aspect of it all. You get to think about it, discuss it, think of predictions, like what's going to happen next, theorize, but not really with this. You have to catch up and watch it all before you get spoiled because it's all there. But yeah, all right. So I'm going to do it. We're going to do another round, another quick round. I mean, I know we're a little over, but hey, we only do a podcast now every 4 months. I think we can do an extra 5 minutes. So, all right. So I'm gonna go another season two. Here we go here. So it's different cast as well. Jury Duty. This is Jury Duty presents Company Retreat. Now, to set it up for those who do not know about Jury Duty, everybody on the show is an actor except one person. First season it was Ronald, they did a jury, 11 were actors and the 12th Ronald was not. Here he is a temp. He's started, he's helping out at this company retreat. He's at it's a hot sauce company. It's their annual retreat. And I will say, I enjoy this type of show. I really, think it's such a creative, labor intensive thing that they have to pull off here. It's like, it's like the Borat. It's, the Nathan Fielder of it all. It's like it's this really tightrope walk that they're on. But I will say for me, maybe it wasn't as strong or as surprising as season one. I mean, it's hard to capture that lightning in a bottle twice. Um, Ronald also, the season one hero, was such an introvert, so it was nice to see him like reacting and like kind of be pushed out of his shell, being like the jury foreman and like. But here it's almost the opposite. Like Anthony was like more of an extrovert of a person, and he was
Mm.
joining this like well-established team. So like he was more game and he was pushing things forward and he was more like excited versus like, yeah, like Ronald, like in jury duty, all those people bonded together. They just met for the trial. Here, it's like, it just had a different kind of vibe of the
Mm.
season. But overall, I think like the ending may have been actually better. What he's forced to save the company in this like kind of deal that's going through. And there's like some lines where it's like this, he's really like stern. It's like it's given a solid performance that you can't even write, kind of thing. And yeah, so it's a short season. It's an easy watch. Yeah, it's kind of like The Office meets Joe Schmo show, I guess. But yeah, it's jury duty.
I'm a little surprised they pivoted from, I forget where it originally was, to Amazon Prime Original now. I mean, I'm not
Well,
surprised. It's
yeah, it was a freebie, but freebie
freebie,
doesn't
right?
exist anymore. Yeah.
Ah, I see. I see. After the success of jury duty, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. EDM in
yeah.
the chat. Jury Duty pulled a shocker when it got Best Comedy nom. Will company retreat repeat? The comedy series is also kind of weak this year. It may get a nomination. If we're looking at any of the actors, I don't know. James Marsden obviously was the big name season one, so he got a supporting actor nomination for playing himself. Maybe the person that played Dougie Jr., which is in the bottom left. He was probably like the standout of the actors, but yeah, unfortunately, Anthony is not eligible uh, to be an Emmy nominee for acting. But all right, um, John, we're staying on Amazon. What do you got?
Yeah. Yep. I've been watching this season of The Boys. Are you guys caught up or no?
I am not,
No,
but
that's
you go
okay.
ahead.
They've had 3
I
so
think
far.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I think I'm all caught up.
All right. I'm not gonna reveal a ton, but I I think we've been seeing this show as much as I enjoy the show. The last couple seasons been trending a little bit down. Last season felt very much like not that it stalled, but like maybe the truck was stuck in the mud and we weren't making much progress. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, bad things happening. Like yeah, oh, let's go do this. It's like all right, this season so far feels like it's breaking free of that a little bit. They actually kind of have some direction. It started off strong with them breaking out of the camp and all that, and it's progressing. I am still a little bit worried about how how it's gonna end. Like uh, what haven't they done that they can be the finale? You know what I mean? Like they already kind of gave people who didn't have powers. Like, is there going to be some
Mm.
kind of like mega evolution where like they truly do become? What's going on, buddy? Do become gods? Like like that's the whole thing is like he thinks he's becoming god. Is it gonna progress to a point where he gets more powers where he can manipulate I don't know time or gravity or something? Like is it gonna be some like epic like showdown at the end, or is it just kind of be like another fight and we're gonna be like, oh okay, it ended? I'm just not sure about that. But I don't know. You have any comments, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm also nervous about the ending too. I don't know how they're gonna land this plane, but
I
I
mean, if
agree with you.
Homelander's in charge, it's not landing.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't. I think with the kind of most recent seasons, I remember there was like a not a nostalgia, but a cachet for like, oh, there's this new character that does this weird thing, and it had
Mhm.
that along the way. But I think now in these final couple seasons, like we're kind of already past that. We need some driven like story stuff to get through
Yeah.
because I feel like we've been going about 2 or 3 episodes of, I mean, trying to do the same thing. So,
The new guy was a big rock. That's it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
all right, cool. That's a cool power, I guess. But
yeah.
Like,
Um,
yeah.
so, I also could. It's been a while, so I couldn't even really remember what was happening. It took a while to get back into the
Yep.
Yeah.
flow of things. One thing I will say that is the most consistent thing about this show, and he is so damn good, is the guy who plays Homelander.
Yeah, Anthony
Because
Starr.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Star.
that is really what gets you coming back because he's probably the ultimate villain, and even Soldier Boy is a pretty good, pairing with him. So I think it works well with that.
Yeah.
Um,
He
but
should be, I mean, nominated. Like he should
yeah,
have been at
Yeah,
some
definitely.
point. Especially
yeah,
that like there was a year I think where the season got nominated. I think it was like that weird COVID year
mm,
where there wasn't
Mm.
too much and like he should have been nominated that year. Like yeah, I mean, for me, maybe one of the reasons like I haven't gotten like to it yet was just, yeah, I agree with you guys. I feel like, I really like the first, season or two, and I feel like the last season or so has been like kind of spinning its wheels of like the whole season is like we're gonna take on Homelander, we're gonna do this thing, and then it's like no,
yeah.
Homelander survives. See you next season, and it's just
So
like, and I
it
just
was
feel like, and it just I feel like we're just spinning our wheels of like.
so.
Okay. Like I need like obviously he's the show, but it's also like I don't know. I just feel like there hasn't been you could probably jump in season 3 and then jump into season 5. Like you don't I don't know. I
Mm.
just feel like there's not been a coherence to it all. Like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. That's just my like thoughts of just like
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
stalled. The
Yeah.
stalled story, right?
Yeah.
But something that I will mention that you've always touched on with this show, Dave, and I
Yeah.
didn't really notice it until this year because it feels like they've jumped all in on it, is like in the boys' world,
Yeah.
it felt like there was allusions to what's happening in the real
Yeah.
world,
Hmm.
but it felt like separate.
Yeah.
Like this is the real world and this is the boys' character land, whatever. You know what I mean? Now it feels like in this season they've already mentioned like several real life people
Yeah.
in the boys, so it just feels like they're
It's
just
too
like it's
heavy-handed,
too
I feel like.
Yeah.
absurd,
Yeah.
so we're gonna mash it all together
Yeah.
because we can't make something different than what's happening in the real
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
It reminds me
Um,
a little bit of like Veep. I think the last like season or two happened to be when 2016 happened. So like it was hard to make fun of politics when real life
mm,
was
Hmm.
already like absurd. And like this is like it used to be like, haha, like this would never happen. We're in this separate
mm,
world. This would never happen. Well, now it's happened, and it's just like
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, it's is it not as funny anymore? And I also think this show is also eating its own tail of like season 1 and 2 was so good at making fun of Marvel and like,
Mm.
oh, we got a movie based on a show, based on a comic book that's related to this in a theme park. And it's like now it's like there's no different. Like you're owned by
Yeah.
a giant corporation. You have multiple spin-offs.
Mm.
You have like a prequel, a sequel. You have to watch this to connect to that. Like they have this. It's just like
And I
there's
don't,
I don't need this homework.
yeah, and I don't think Prime wanted them to finish this season. I think they
Hmm.
decided on their own, but I don't think Prime wanted it to
No,
be their
yeah.
last
No,
season.
they wanted to go
I think
further.
it does really well for Prime. And obviously like with all the spin-offs that, they did cancel Gen V in the last
Mhm.
week, season 2. But I think a new one is coming, a new spin-off.
Season
So,
season 3?
or was it
Is it not?
season 3? I don't know. Like
Is it?
yeah. I'm not exactly sure, but
Either way.
there's
Oh,
no new seasons coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there is something that happens in the first 5 minutes of this season
Yeah.
that I thought this show had jumped the shark and once you watch it, Dave,
Is it Homelander literally doing the
n-
Fonzie and jumping?
no,
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 okay.
no, but I have some serious questions.
All right.
But once you get to it.
Speaking of jumping sharks, did we finish up with Kyle, your last pick here?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so I got Euphoria. Okay, it's been a while. It's been a while. I I am gonna start this. I can't even believe that this show is still being made between the actors' schedules, the actors, I think feelings towards the
yeah. Yep.
creator,
Mm.
And the actors' feelings towards each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane that this thing was even made. Okay. Um, so we pick up a few years out of high school. I can't remember that exact timeline. It might be like 3 or 4 years out of high school. Uh, Rue is still trying to get away from this drug lord that has, got a hold of her. Um, Cassie, which is played by Sydney Sweeney, is trying to get into OnlyFans because Nate, her now soon to be husband, is having money troubles and can't pay for the wedding. And we haven't really seen much of Jules yet. And they're bringing Maddie back into the fold. And, Apatow is kind of in there as well. But honestly, this show is best when Zendaya is on the screen.
Yep.
And so, as much as they can do that, I think that's the best solution. Um, I think the first episode had some really cool cinematic moments, being in the West and going through Mexico and the border. I thought
Yeah.
it was really, really cool. Um, but I'm not a prude, but the stuff
Yeah.
there is something going on with Levinson and Sydney Sweeney, and I don't think it's anything good. I think she knows that he's a weirdo,
Yeah,
and
I had that
he's
note
just
written down.
gratuitous
The
about
stuff
it.
is
Just
just
seems weird. It just seems weird, and I will say, the Nate's character in Euphoria, horrible,
yeah.
horrible, horrible human being. Okay, and now we're like worried. He doesn't have enough for the construction,
Yeah.
and he's still not a great guy.
No.
Mm.
But it's like, what? I mean, maybe it's just like, oh, it's been 5 years. But this guy is like, he was a
Yeah,
sociopath,
he's American
man.
Psycho. Like,
Yeah. So it's just that whole side of this show is just a mess between the Sydney Sweeney
I had that
and
written. I had that written down. The Sweeney stuff is just so over the top. It's just gross. It's just
Mm.
I don't know what. Yeah, the Sam Levinson, like it's just it's and I and there's so much that there's stuff going on this season with like race and gender, and it's like I don't know if I need or want Sam Levinson to be the one to handle some of these conversations. Like I just don't think he can do it. But yeah, this I agree with you, Kyle. Like the first episode had some amazing visuals. Like the stuff, on the border, the stuff with the car. The show just moves fast and you're always guessing like what's next. And I like that like propulsion in the show. Most of the acting is top notch. Like Zendaya is obviously like the star. It's like and it's crazy what she does to like elevate the material, but just like she's so in this role of Rue versus all of her other roles. Like it really is distinct. And but yeah, story wise, the show is just all over the place. It's just a mess. Am I seated on Sundays to watch it? Yes, but like it is a mess.
but when you
Um,
you really think about the stories, there's like
no,
much, not much happening.
no, because it's also a little bit of like I feel like Arrested Development season 4, where all these actors, whether they don't want to work together or because of their schedules, they're in their own little bubbles.
Yeah.
Zendaya's over here doing her thing. Sydney Sweeney and Jacob Elordi are doing their thing. Oh, we
Hmm.
got Sydney Sweeney and Maddie at the same day. Okay, let's do a scene with that. Like, it's
Hmm.
it's very piecemeal. Like Jules, I mean,
Hmm.
it's only been 2 episodes, has had no scenes other than with Zendaya. Like,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
Coleman Domingo, had a scene because we got him, but it's like okay, it was the day probably when he wasn't shooting all of his 10 movies he does.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but yeah. Am I seated? Yes, but like, am I loving everything? No, but
Yeah, I mean, there are some things that are very cool
yeah,
and very interesting to watch, and then
mhm,
there's just some stuff that I'm like, why? It doesn't. Why are we doing this?
yeah, yeah. EDM in the chat is Zendaya still winning Best Actress. Will Jacob Elordi get Supporting Actor nomination from that Oscar Afterglow? it's certainly possible, but those supporting categories are always just so tough with, all the different shows. I'm trying to even think, especially like with something like The Pit right now, it's just like
Mm.
all those, guys could be eligible. I think for Best Actress, yeah, Zendaya is definitely a top choice. It's could probably maybe between her and Ray Seahorn right now. Like,
Mhm.
um, but
But Jacob Elordi, I like Jacob
yeah,
Elordi, but
yeah.
I don't think the character itself is in a good place, and I don't know if he knows what to do with that character
Well,
at the
I,
moment.
I was seeing in interviews that like he didn't, he doesn't get scripts outside of his scenes, and then he gets them very last minute, and he doesn't know like what's going on. And I
Yeah.
think it's because of
Yeah.
the structure of the writer's room, which is just I think Sam and his iPad. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, yes, but we'll be tuning in
Yeah.
for more, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
But that's all we got for this week. A little long, but it's been a bit, and I'm hoping we'll do another one. Maybe June, July, somewhere in there. We'll do a check-in at the box office. See how we're doing. We'll have finales of plenty of shows, like the series finale of The Boys, season 3 of Euphoria, which probably is it. Season 3 and the final season of The Comeback, Survivor 50. There's so much going on right now, getting ready before Emmys come out. Um, Make sure you're following our feed, on our different, podcast apps and social medias and stuff like that. Because if you weren't, you may have missed. We did a crossover episode, at least I did, with The Good and the Bad and the Watchable for Oscar predictions. We did that back in February. So you got to be following us, to make sure you don't miss any of these episodes. We're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the blog, doredundancy.com, on Twitch, twitch.tv/doredundancy, streaming live right now on YouTube and on Twitch. And yeah, follow us on Instagram and on TikTok at Dual Redundancy. Instagram is specifically because we will probably do our little box office poll, who had the best team. Remember, it's always a curse. It's always a curse. Whoever wins that never wins the never wins the thing here. So we'll see on that. But I got to thank both of you guys, for joining me on a Saturday afternoon. A lot of work goes into this. John, directing the show, a lot, doing those graphics live on the spot. I really appreciate from both of you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
All right. Well, until next time, I'm David Allen,
I'm Trevor.
And I'm Kyle Bridger.
and that's all we got for Do or Done. Goodbye, everybody.